Good evening and welcome to the shed. So we're going to attempt to get this planer jointer set up properly. I've got the new blades. I think I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to call this a tutorial because I've never done it before, so I'm hardly in a position to tutor anyone. But it looks relatively simple. As long as you get your accuracy correct, I think we'll be all right. Okay, let's get you over to the machine and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, these are the tools for the job. I've got my ring spanner to tighten up the cutter block, a hammer for tapping it into position, you'll see that in a minute, a ruler for measuring, and a straight edge. Now, I haven't got a professional straight edge because they are massively expensive, so I've gone with a nice straight piece of wood. That's all I've got. I think it'll be good enough to get us started. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to bring you in a bit closer and I'll show you how I'm going to go about it. I've already got one of the irons, the cutters, in position, but not adjusted. So these are the cutters. So there's two of these on the rotor. I bought four, just so I can have one set ready to go at all times. Okay, bring you in close. Okay, so this is the cutter. It's in place. It's fairly tight within the cutter block. I spent quite a bit of time trying to work out how to do this. Very difficult to lift it up. It's easy to tap it down, but not so easy to lift it up. Then I span this over and realised there's two slots which you can stick a screwdriver in, give it a little tap, and that'll move the cutter. So I'm able to get it quite tight without tightening it up so far that it won't move. Just have to remember to tighten it up at the end. So the method we're going to use is to use a piece of wood as such. Now I have got a piece of wood with a line on there. I hope you can see that line. Tell you what, should I get a pencil and make it a bit thicker just for the camera? So there's a sharp line there, and the idea is that I line a ruler up. Obviously I'll do it this side. Well, I might be able to do it this side actually. So I line a ruler up here and I will line this up to 100 millimeters. Turn the blade into position. Then as it comes round, it should lift up the wood. Where is it? Here it comes. And that will give me a measurement of how far it's moved. So in this case that was 15 mil. That's way too much. Turn our cutter, and then as it lifts it up, that gives us our reading, which is 12 mil. I said 15 before, didn't I? I think it matters what speed you go. Okay, I need to watch that. So let's go fairly slowly. Okay, yeah, that's 16 mil that gives me. Okay, so that's too high. So what I can do now is take a little block of wood, tiny little hammer. By the way, I'll do this all the way across, so I've got to get it right all the way across. Slight tap there. In fact, let's move this across a little bit more. Line it up with the 100. Turn the cutter slowly. Okay, we're still at 16 mil, so I didn't hit that hard enough. Or maybe I've got it too tight. And go again. This is going to take a while, by the way. I won't show you every single pass that I do. Oh, keep forgetting to do that. I switched to using the old steel blade because it's dead flat and it's heavier. I don't think I was getting very accurate measurements out of my piece of wood. So set that to 70, turn it, that's 9 mil. So it's giving different readings just because of a different material. Also 8.5 to 9 mil. Close. Let's try the other one. That's 10 mil. And that's 9 mil. We're getting close, but we're still not quite there. I'm at the point where I've got it as close as I can get. In the end, I used this old iron cutter because it's straight, it's heavier, so I was getting a more accurate reading. The wood wasn't accurate. I kept getting different readings every time, so I knew something was amiss. Now I don't know if you can see this, but I've been doing it. This is how I've been doing it. I line it up 70 there, so it's 70 mil away from the edge of the outfeed table, and then I just turn this slowly, and that will lift and drop, and that is just over 7 mil. That's 7 mil on that one, and then the same at this side. Oh, yep, 7 and a tad, and then on the other cutter, $7 mil. And 7 and a tad. Okay, so that's about as close as I can get. If you think about the well, I think they call that a segment, or a minor segment that you are taking across there. So it's such a tiny amount that it's actually lifting on that arc of that circle. I'm not really sure of the correct mathematical term. I think it's called a minor segment, and there is a way of working it out, but the actual height of that segment must be very, very tiny. So therefore I am amplifying the measurements. So 7 mil on there is probably, oh well, I don't know, is it even $0.5 mil? It's a very small amount anyway. So I think we're accurate enough to at least give it a go and see what happens. I'm going to start the machine, give it a bit of a warm up, and then we're going to tighten everything down, make sure all my nuts and bolts everywhere is tight, put the fence on, get everything ready, and then we'll give it a test with a real bit of wood. Okay, so this is the point where it all went wrong. I started the machine after fitting the knives, cutters, left the shed, luckily, went and watched from inside the kitchen where I was near the switch. It started up, started making a weird noise, and then cut out. So I came out here, I thought, oh, I don't know what's gone on, maybe it's just the belt jammed or something. After a bit of investigation, I found that the cutter had come out of the cutter block, smashed into pieces, shrapnel, bits that would kill you if they hit you. So I don't know what I did wrong. I obviously didn't have it tight enough. I'm guessing that, I've just fitted another cutter. I wasn't using my bar, and I probably should have done. But basically the whole thing has knocked my confidence, and I'm not turning it on again. That machine has to go. It's too dangerous for me. It's just, it needs somebody who really knows what they're doing. I'm gonna get my money back, or get whatever I can back on it, and give it to somebody who's familiar with these sort of machines and knows what they're doing. Maybe one of the bolts is dodgy, I don't know. It's just not worth the risk. A bit of that shrapnel flying around my shed is not going to do me any good. So it's never going to be switched on again in here, and I'm going to go and buy a modern, safer one. So it's a fail really, but you know, lots of lessons learned. I enjoyed the project, but you're not going to see it running anymore. Okay, thanks very much for watching. I'm sure you'll have some comments for me. Yeah, oh, I did a bit of research actually on this, and apparently these, what they call a clamshell cutter block, are a bit prone to doing this. Apparently the bolts can stretch, and if you're not careful and don't know what you're doing, you can end up with a bit of shrapnel through your head. So I don't want that. I'm not taking that risk. It's only a hobby. I'm only doing it for a bit of fun. Yeah, so that's it. You won't see this machine again. Well, assuming I can sell it, you won't see this machine again. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.